Naruto Uzumaki's entire legend runs on one simple trick. The kid everyone hated somehow became the kid everyone needed. So what happens when you rip that engine out? What if the hatred never turned into fuel and just stayed hatred? What if Naruto was evil and joined the Akatsuki? Let's find out how bad it gets. The early years look painfully familiar. Naruto grows up alone in a village that fears him without ever explaining why. The third Hokage stretched too thin, running an entire village to properly raise one traumatized kid, and the handful of people who do show him kindness, Iruka, the Ichidaku family, never quite outweighs the scale of everyone else's hatred. In canon, Naruto's stubborn optimism is what turns that pain into fuel. Here, that same stubbornness just curdles into something colder. He stops wanting to prove the village wrong, he starts wanting it to burn. The real fracture point hits around the age 12 when Naruto learns the truth. His father, Minato Namikaze, the man the entire village worships as a legend, and that same legend is the one who sealed the Nine-Tails into his own newborn son and left him to grow up as the village's punching bag. That single fact rewires everything. Now it's betrayal with a name attached. The anger doesn't stay quiet. Kurama feels the shift immediately and starts leaning into it, feeding the hatred instead of fighting it, because a Jinchuriki who wants revenge is a Jinchuriki the fox can actually work with. Naruto never makes it into graduation. He disappears from the village in the middle of the night, chasing strength and allies instead of a headband, and barely anyone notices he's gone. Most of the village is relieved. Out in the wilderness, Obito Uchiha finds him first, wearing the Toby mask with the sympathetic backstory to match. Another kid the world discarded, or so the pitch goes. Obito doesn't offer Naruto power. He offers something Naruto never actually had, a reason to matter to somebody. The infinite Tsukuyomi gets pitched not as world domination, but as a way to see his parents again. For a boy raised entirely in absence, that pitch lands exactly the way it's meant to. Obito takes Naruto under his wing personally, and the training looks like nothing that Jiraiya would have offered. It's raw access to Kurama's chakra with none of the guardrails Ken and Naruto grew up respecting. Without friends to worry about hurting, Naruto taps into the fox recklessly, and the results are terrifying and fast. Within a few years, he's cycling through multiple tailed states, pushing his own body past what it should survive, and the seal his father built starts fraying under the strain. Where old Naruto would have panicked at that, this one welcomes it. Every crack in the seal feels like one more piece of his father's control breaking off him. Obito eases him into the Akatsuki gradually. Pain and Konan aren't thrilled about adding a teenage Jinchuriki to the roster, but Obito makes his case and wins. Kisame respects the raw firepower. Itachi watches quietly, seeing something uncomfortably close to what Sasuke could become. To the rest of them, Deidara, Sasori, Hidan, Kakuzu, he is just another tool with an unusually large chakra reserve. Naruto doesn't mind the label. In his mind, the real world was never going to offer him anything better than being useful to people who at least admit that's all he is to them. Back in Konoha, the story keeps moving on without him, and it moves worse. Team 7 is down to just Sasuke and Sakura, and Kakashi's stretched thin trying to hold 2 students together instead of 3. But Orochimaru still crashes the Chunin exams, still plants the curse mark on Sasuke, except this time, there's no loud blonde idiot around to remind Sasuke what bonds are supposed to feel like. The corruption spreads faster with nothing pushing back against it. Hiruzen still dies protecting the village during the invasion, and his death barely registers as a footnote next to a much quieter loss nobody in the village even clocks. The boy who vanished years ago and was mostly just assumed dead somewhere out past the tree line. Tsunade still gets dragged back to take the hat, and when Jiraiya mentions offhand that his student's son went missing years back, something in her breaks a little for the kid she'd never even met. One of her first orders as Hokage is to send a search party looking for any trace of Minato's son. They come back with nothing because by then Naruto isn't lost. He's exactly where he wants to be. Sasuke's fall happens even faster and uglier without Naruto around to slow it down. Once he kills Orochimaru and absorbs what's left of his power, the Sound Four come calling, and this time, there's no friend showing up to remind him what he'd been throwing away. He just leaves. Sakura begs him to stay, even offers to go with him, and gets nothing but cold silence for it. Shikamaru leads the retrieval squad anyway. Choji, Neji, Kiba in the same lineup Kanon remembers, except without a Jinchuriki's chakra backing them up, the Sound Four simply outclass them. Choji nearly dies, Neji's left with a career-ending injury, Kiba barely crawls out alive, the mission collapses, and the fallout haunts every genin who walked away from it. Shikamaru blames himself for the plan. Sakura blames herself for not being strong enough. Kakashi quietly counts it as another student he failed to protect. Under Orochimaru's old training grounds, Sasuke grows terrifyingly fast. Forbidden techniques stacked on an already dangerous Sharingan, all of it aimed at Itachi. He knows exactly what Orochimaru wanted his body for and plans on ending that problem himself. Without Naruto anywhere in his orbit, there's nobody left to teach him that power without connection just curdles into something hollow, and it shows in how ruthless he's become. Meanwhile, Naruto's usefulness to the Akatsuki turns out to be exactly what Obito promised. The tailed beast hunts moves smoothly, Jinchuriki falling one after another with a Nine-Tails strength asset working for the hunters instead of against them. Gaara goes down hard and fast. No Naruto around to talk him back from the edge, and the extraction kills him clean. No miracle this time. Chio still sacrifices herself, and it still isn't enough because the thing that saved Gaara and Kanon was Naruto's chakra specifically. One by one, the other tailed beast fall too, fear spreading faster than any alliance can keep up with, the world staying exactly as fractured as it's always been. Jiraiya finally tracks down the real intel on Pain's location and pushes into the Akatsuki's hideout in Amegakure, chasing something more personal than a mission, his godson. What he finds breaks him. Naruto's grown into someone cold, radiating hatred and chakra in equal measure. The fox's influence sitting visibly under his skin even when he's not transformed. Jiraiya tries everything, tells him Minato sealed Kurama because he trusted his son to be strong enough to carry it, tells him about Kushina's warmth, tries to prove Naruto came from love and not abandonment. Naruto doesn't hear any of it. To him, Minato's a coward who picked a village of strangers over his own blood, and no story about warmth changes what actually happened to him. Confrontation turns into a fight. Neither of them walks away clean. Jiraiya holds back, still trying to subdue rather than kill the kid he once hoped to train. Naruto holds nothing back at all. Multiple tails deep into Kurama's chakra, the battle turns brutal fast, and Jiraiya realizes too late this isn't a rescue anymore. It's a fight for his life. In canon, his death at Pain's hands still meant something, intel that helped save the world later. Here, it means nothing except one more win feeding Naruto's growing power. In his final seconds, Jiraiya doesn't even look angry, just sad, understanding exactly what happens when a kid gets left alone with his pain for too long. Naruto finishes him without ceremony. The fallout's the leaf like a second earthquake, and not after long, the real one comes. Pain's assault unfolds completely differently this time, because the Akatsuki isn't sending Pain alone. They're sending him with Naruto standing right beside him. The battle is one-sided from the first second. Kakashi recognizes his sensei's son instantly and tries to reach him anyway, only to get answered with pure venom about a father who chose strangers over family, before falling to Pain's assault while Naruto watches without blinking. Tsunade throws everything she has at protecting the village, appeals to Naruto as someone who actually knew his parents, and gets nothing back but silence. She burns through her own chakra and collapses into a coma she never wakes from. When Pain charges his final Shinra Tensei, Naruto doesn't try to stop it. He adds his own chakra to the blast. The hidden leaf gets reduced to a crater, and standing in the middle of it, Naruto feels nothing at all. With the leaf gone, the fourth Great Ninja War kicks off from a position nobody wanted, the Akatsuki already holding 8 of the 9-tailed beasts before the alliance even finishes forming. Only Killer Bee slips the net, his bond with Gyuki too seamless to break. Obito finally drops the mask, declares open war, and unleashes Kabuto's Edo Tensei army alongside a fully revived Madara. What's left of the 5 Kage stand together, but without Naruto as the thing that used to hold fractured alliances together, the unity is thin and brittle from the start. Sasuke's war goes just as dark. After killing Orochimaru Orochimaru and learning the real story behind the Uchiha massacre from Tobi, the truth doesn't heal anything, it detonates him. Instead of choosing to protect the village, Sasuke decides it deserves to burn for what it did to Itachi. He forms Taka and fights the alliance itself, killing Danzo along the way, drowning further into vengeance with every battle. There's no Naruto left to argue him back from the ledge, so nobody does. The Geto statue finally swallows all 8 beasts, and Naruto, weakened but still valuable, volunteers the 9th himself. He survives the extraction on Uzumaki resilience alone, but it's enough. All 9 beasts combine and the 10-tail rises, and Obito ascends into something closer to a god than a man. Then, Madara turns on him mid-ritual, and the 2 gods war over who gets the power, while Naruto, too drained to do anything but watch, just hopes it ends fast. Madara wins, absorbs everything, reawakens the Rinnegan, casts the infinite Tsukuyomi. Naruto doesn't resist it, finally getting the dream he always wanted. Both parents alive, a childhood that was never his. Black Setsu was steering it all along, and hijacks Madara's body to bring Kaguya back. With no Naruto and Sasuke together to receive Hagoromo's power, no one can seal her. Sasuke dies alone trying anyway. The alliance falls, the god tree spreads, and the world simply stops. Naruto never wakes up. In his dream, he's still just a kid, laughing with his parents, finally happy. This is the only ending he ever gets. So that's a world where Naruto never becomes the hero, just the very thing everyone always feared he would be. But what if Naruto was raised by Jiraiya? Did he ever feel loneliness and his journey still heroic? That's what we're gonna cover next, so subscribe so you don't miss it.